Welcome into another episode of the News4JAGs podcast. Jamal St here alongside Justin Barney. Justin, practice day 13. Still keeping count.
Entering the home stretch.
Entering the home stretch. All right, before we get to today's practice, let's recap quickly the preseason game. One drive from the offense, one drive from the starting defense, a drive on both sides from Travis Hunter. The offense was fine. Yeah, maybe?
I think there were positive and negatives. Fine. I thought the defense was a little bit sloppy.
Defense was a problem.
You can't let Mason Rudolph just march down the field like Patrick Mahomes on the first drive. Again, Liam Coen said after the game, and I tend to agree with this, you're going from the system of last year, which was significantly different than this year. This was the man defense kind of last year, a zone heavier defense this year, and a coach Campanile. So you got a lot of guys who are used to playing that last year. They weren't a very good defense at all. I think you saw that they couldn't play that man like Ryan Nielsen wanted, so you're going to a zone defense. So I do think that was a little bit of knocking the rust off of that for those newer guys. Different doing things in training camp than it is in a regular season game.
Yeah, look, and that's legitimate. That's kind of happens. There is a shift and a change. Defense didn't play good enough. The offense didn't cap off drives.
Right.
Nick Mullins really struggled during that game. I mean, there were a handful of struggles around the team. Not a whole
lot.
Drop
passes to me were a big issue.
Penalties were also a problem.
But the thing I wanted to see, you got one drive from Trevor Lawrence in starters. He's 6 of 7, played really well, 43 yards passing, 5 different receivers on that drive. He hit 2, so I think it was a glimpse of what we're going to see from that offense. Versatility, variety, and I think that was a positive to see. Only one drive, but it was promising.
And the one biggest note of this whole thing, the playbooks are not open on the offensive or the defensive side of the ball. This is vanilla. You can think about this like watching an all-star game kind of playbook. It is very basic. So you have seen nothing. The bag has not been opened.
Right.
Week 1 will be very different.
And different. You know, Liam Coen said last week we haven't even really thrown any blitz packages or anything. So we're not seeing really. I mean, it's like getting in first gear in the parking lot.
Yes.
You haven't even shifted in second gear yet. And I think you want to get up all the way to fifth gear.
They're showing nothing.
Not happening until the regular season.
Yes, showing nothing, keeping it all in-house. All right, to today's practice. A little bit of a walkthrough kind of action. You know, as they get ready for that second preseason game, a little bit slower pace out here.
I got here at the top of the session 5 or period 5, and they were working on like the snaps with all of the quarterbacks. They're working on the snap counts and stuff. It was very regimented in terms of what they were doing.
Trying to get them to get the offense in the right look.
Right.
So part of this offense is they go to the line of scrimmage with multiple plays.
Yep.
They call them cans, whatever you want to call them, unaudible. The job was to, look at the look and get them into the right look. So they were seeing if the quarterbacks could get them in the right look, which leads me to believe that possibly during Saturday night's game, they didn't feel like the quarterbacks were getting them
like a 5-minute
into the
period
right
of
look.
all they were doing was taking snaps and doing it. There was no follow through on it. It was just taking snaps, getting things set. I think, like you said, getting the right look. They struggled with that. First play of the game the other night, penalty. So the offensive line, I think that was more for them and getting those quarterbacks comfortable on there, but big time working on that O-line.
Yeah, look, I think that's a legitimate thing, and that's going to be a big part of this offense. The offense has the answers to the problems. Quarterbacks have to get them in the right look based on the defense. So we'll see if they keep working on that. Play of the day, it's not close, right?
Parker Washington.
Yeah.
It was a poster over Darnell Savage, and he put him on a poster. They were pressed hard, and it came at a time where I thought the offense was struggling a little bit. I mean, overthrow to Diami dropped.
Oh no, the offense struggled.
The offense struggled, and it was such a the last play with Trevor before he went off the field, and this just beautiful pass to Parker Washington. Darnell Savage draped on him, he made a catch, just posterized him, and then at the play, Darnell was still kind of locked up with him, and Parker pushed off and spiked the ball down to kind of send it. It was perfect.
Crazy catch from Parker Washington. I mean, mossed him. Just went up, got it behind his head. Great play from P-Dub in the end zone. The offense really struggled overall. I guess if there was another contender, it'd be Jarian Jones' interception, which was more of a drop from Brian Thomas than anything else. Ball hits Brian in the hands, and tip drill right into Jarian Jones' waiting hands for an interception.
Different look for the offense today in jerseys. They were in teal jerseys today.
Look, a little switch up.
Yeah,
hey, if you didn't like what you got, and just because it it wasn't broken doesn't mean it's not willing to be fixed.
Right.
So a little bit of a shake up there. All right, so Jaguars are back out on the practice field tomorrow, and then we're really counting down until that game against the New Orleans Saints this weekend. They're off on Wednesday. We'll be back out here with more coverage. You can also tune in on Monday night at 11:20 over on Channel 4, or you'll be able to find it online for Teal the Show. That's Mondays and Fridays at 11:20 as we kind of try and keep track of this whole thing. Before we wrap it up completely, Cam Little. We talked about the game. You didn't talk about a 70-yard field goal. 70 yards.
70 yards.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, right?
We've seen Cam hitting mid-50s out here all the time. It's 70
Limitless
yards.
range.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Trevor said, hey, we don't want to line a trot came out in the first quarter for a 70-yard field goal. But
maybe
hey,
you do.
It's nice to have that option. I think maybe it'll be different in the regular season, but 70 yards.
Hey, man, if he keeps nailing them, who cares?
That's unbelievable.
Just roll him out there. Take the 3.
Unbelievable for Cam.
Take the 3, Coach. Take the 3. All right, that'll do it for this episode of the podcast. You can always track down more Jaguars coverage over on News4JAGs.com. See you guys next time.